Alright, so I told you guys that I would talk a little bit about how I found my foundation shade, because I've been doing a really good job lately, and I used to have a lot of problems like finding my foundation shade because I have a drawer full of makeup that does not match my skin. But this is how I have been having all my luck lately. I actually went to Ulta and got color matched with the Urban Decay Naked Skin foundation. I think this is in the shade 3 or number 3. They don't have names on them. But she color matched me with this, and she actually color matched me just to my face, not like my neck or my cheekbone or anything. But this is the color she got for me, and I'm like, ah, hell, I'll give it a try, because it actually did match pretty good. So I took this to the drugstore, and I was comparing it to bottles just like this. I actually got 2 of the Revlon Nearly Nakeds because it was buy one get one half off, and I do spray tan sometimes, so in order to find my color, I was like comparing them to the bottles just like that. And this one is a very good match, and this one is in 130 Shell, and it just looks like that, so they're pretty close. And then I just got 1 shade darker for when I self-tan. Obviously it's a little darker and it doesn't match this. Now this one's a bit more yellowy compared to this one, but that's alright. It matches perfectly to my skin. So when I went to find a different foundation, now that I found my color, I walked into the store, I found the bottle that I usually use, and I was holding it up to the other bottles, and I wanted to try the L'Oreal True Match Lumi so bad because I heard it was so good for dry skin. And I compared the bottles. Now on camera they don't look like they match as perfectly, but they are a very close match, and it's what I'm wearing on my skin today, and you can tell my face matches with my body. So that's how I found like a foundation in a different brand that I really wanted to try, and this is in N1/2 Soft Ivory Classic Beige. So now, how do you know if it matches? I personally like to test to my neck, and this is basically just what I do. I just take a little bit and I swatch it on my neck, and then I just blend it out, and you can't even really tell that it's there. That's how I knew it was going to match perfectly into my face. Now I don't like to match it to my face or my jawbone. I like to match it on my neck, and it just seems to work better for me. I don't know, that's just my opinion, because you want your face to match to your neck, and the whole swatching down the side of your face does work, but I find it works better on the neck. So that is how I found out Shell matched my face once I got it home, because I wasn't exactly sure on the coloring. And then I just bought this and I did a demo on it. I took this and matched it because it did seem a little bit different compared to my Shell bottle, but not too much at all. I just took this, swatched it on my neck, and then I blend it out. And if it like blends in perfectly, you can hardly see it there, that's your color. That's just how I do it. I think it's just easier to blend to my neck because I am very red. My neck is red and it kind of goes into my face, so I like to match it on my neck. Everybody's different on how they match it. I just found that this is the easiest way to get color match. Take that sample to the drugstore, compare it to the bottles, and then take it home and swatch it on your neck, and if it blends in, it's going to match perfectly. In my opinion, that's just my experience. That's how it's worked for me. There was something else I wanted to talk about, and I'm not exactly sure what it was now. Yikes. I don't know. That's just my advice. You don't have to take my advice. I just found that's the easiest way that's worked for me. If you have a different way of matching it to your face, put it in the comments below so I know, and I'll definitely try it out, you know. But this has just always worked for me. And you just can't even see them in my neck, so it's a pretty good match. Obviously, like, my face blends in really perfectly. I do recommend, this is what I was going to say, I do recommend you go to like Walgreens to buy your makeup, because Walgreens always accepts returns. Some stores don't let you return makeup. The Walmart that I bought this True Match Lumi at said once it's opened I can't return it. my Walmart says you can return it, but that one says you can't return it. So I guess every store is different. I do recommend buying from somewhere that you're allowed to return. Otherwise, you're gonna probably end up with a drawer full of foundation that you can't wear and you can't return it, and then you're just out that money. So that is like my best advice, is always go somewhere where you can return it, because most likely you're not going to get the right shade. You know, you're not always going to get the right shade, and then you're stuck with a shade that you can't wear. I also recommend, if you can't find a color that matches perfectly, that you go with the lighter one rather than the darker one, because the lighter one you can always bronze up with bronzer or something like that. With the darker one, it's just going to look off because there's no way to lighten it. So always go with the lighter one if you can't find your color, and bronze up your face just a little bit. It's not going to look like it's uneven or anything like that. That bronzer is really going to pull it in to your neck and your body. So that's just my advice. You don't have to take it. Like I said, this is just what has worked for me. And just let me know how you guys find your foundation shade, and I will totally try it, because now I don't know what's going on with my skin, but it's actually getting more red and red, and I just don't know why. So I'm trying to find more foundations that I like, things that work for dry skin. So I don't know, this Lumi works pretty well for dry skin, and so does this Revlon Nearly Naked. This one works actually quite well for dry skin, but just not as good as this Lumi. That's basically it. And if you're a new subscriber, up in this corner, you can subscribe if you want to. But yeah, that's it.